She gave me the signal. She gave me the signal. She's like, I'm waiting for your signal. I gave her the signal. She gave me the signal. She gave me one of these. No, I'm kidding. Here we are, man. It's late Sunday night. Yeah, we had some riffraff. That's what I'm going to call it, man. We had some riffraff here, and we were just waiting for them to get that out of here. You didn't hear that, because I bleeped it. Did you hear that? I bleeped it. We were waiting for them to get that out of here. I didn't hear the beep, but anyhow, we got some pretty good progress with the 49 Chev. Mr. Max, he's running amok, man. He is running amok. He's upstairs, he's downstairs. Yeah, he's such a good boy. He just come downstairs. He just hanging out.
He knows the camera's rolling.
Yeah, he knows the camera is rolling. No doubt about it. Yeah, so the whole idea is to I gotta get the paperwork for this. I gotta get the plates on it. I gotta get this grill. I'll probably tackle that tomorrow. It's just kind of sitting there. It needs to be fastened into place. I got the hood washed. I got pretty much got the motor dialed in. I'm pretty sure. I did make a new alternator bracket. When the alternator messed up in our last video, I made this heavy duty bracket. Yeah, I got some kind of crappy weld there. I gotta grind that off. I gotta take this bracket back off because I put an extension from there over to here. That wasn't even the issue. What the issue was is that the pulley and the belt were just not, they weren't lining up right. It was out such a little bit, and the teeth were just not meshing properly, and that was kind of the issue. And I fought with it for a couple of days, made a few different new brackets, and kept kind of, you know, trying it, and eventually, basically the main bolt that holds the alternator down at the bottom was kind of, you know, it was doing this. It was flexing. So I actually made a support bracket underneath it. I'm not even going to get the camera girl to look at it because you can't see it, but basically, so that the bushing where the bolt is, I put kind of a bracket, tack welded it on there. Well, it's welded on there permanently, but it basically stops the alternator from kind of flexing downward. And yeah, ran it the other day. Sounds good. It's kind of amazing because those tooth belts actually give off a little bit of a whine, like a like a blower, and you can really hear it now. And obviously we will do another video when it's been raining here the last couple of days, so not able to. I like to pull it out into the driveway and kind of run it. Maybe we'll actually do a video when I'm gonna get the paperwork, get this thing is plated, it's insured, you know, for the road already, and I'll get the paperwork from the owners, and maybe you'll get to come along for the test drive, because that's what I want to do in the next couple of days. I want to take it for, you know, we don't go far, we kind of stay in the neighborhood, but I want to take it for a little test drive, get the hood on it, get it washed up, take it for a little test drive, make out, you know, that's, you have to do that with these cars, you know, figure out the bugs. That's what we call it, figure out the bugs. I think this one's got a lot of bugs. minor little bugs. But yeah, there you go. There you have it for the the 49 Ford. I've been picking away at the Lamborghini. As you can see, I've got the roof pretty much. Yeah, there was a right where the two. So this was printed in two halves, and right at the seam here, there was some kind of a transition. I don't know if it was because of the way I hot stapled it together. I don't know if it was the print. I'm not sure. The same as the sides. There's, it's like when you rubbed your hand across it like this, there was this weird kind of transition from, the front piece to the back piece. So I just figured, you know what, I can blow that out with some, some glaze, some filler. And of course, much more. You can see that when you sand it, which is kind of crazy, you can see all the print lines. You see all the print lines. But what's crazy about this is, I'll give you a little example. So you can sand a lot of the print lines out. But the noise is kind of annoying. It's like, hey! It's like scratching a record. And every time I'm sanding this stuff, I'm like, you imagine if they had this in the 80s when rap started, eh? If they had 3D printed pieces. It's like you wouldn't have needed turntables and records to do your scratching. You could have just grabbed a piece of 3D printed plastic and it is kind of annoying, and I'm thinking that most of the 3D print scratches are pretty fine. Some are pretty heavy. But I think a couple coats of primer will I'll probably sand the whole thing. As you can see, I got the windshield in. It's a piece of Lexan. I got the side windows in. I got this little back piece in. It's all just kind of hot glued in there. But what the issue is everything has a little bit of a what I call an undercut. So everything, yes, everything, even these sides, they have undercuts kind of all the way around. You can see this one actually protrudes out quite a bit because it's kind of bowed. And all of that, I have to go around all of these openings. I either got to use plasticine to fill those gaps because you cannot have any undercuts when you're going to mold this. I'll probably use fillers, just because they harden up nice and strong, kind of tough. And as I've been kind of playing with this, I'm working on it and gluing it in. This back section here, I'll put it down so you can see. I cut a little piece of Lexan and I hot glued it in there. And yeah, we're losing a little bit there, but this flat, straight transition is going to be perfect for the molding process. I did discover that these vents, I don't know where it went, but these vents, they're actually in pretty good shape other than this top section. The top section has a little bit of an undercut there, and these outsides, they definitely you know, they have an undercut. So all of that stuff. Other than that, I do like the vent. I'm gonna probably use filler there and filler along those the outside edge. There's some undercuts here and there, obviously, that have to be filled. Like these vents here, there's an undercut there. That is going to be filled out flush. As far as these like vent pockets, not 100%. I don't want to fill that. I don't really want to fill that completely over. I'd like to retain some of that, you know, the vent detail. If I have to fill it over completely flat and flush, I will go down that road. As far as the front, you can see, yeah, a lot of this stuff is just dust. Ooh, right in my face. But you can see the way the print is, so I had to put some filler. But these are kind of like those vents at the back, you know, and I just kind of push this stuff in with my fingers, and that's actually pretty good, because it's going to retain a lot of the detail, like the little grooves. Now they don't go all the way through, obviously. They did, but by just using my finger and putting some stuff on here, the same as these ones. These ones were had a lot of undercutting in the print, and I just smushed the filler in there with my finger, and it'll be nice to, you know, it's oh, look at that, I hit the camera. It's definitely going to be interesting when I create the front part of this mold, just with all these, you know, the protrusions. It's going to be interesting to see if it's quite as detailed as when I did the GT40s. The GT40s, the front was, you know, that one section of mold was like kind of the hardest piece to get off, because of everything that, you know, kind of went inward. But yeah, so I got the windows, the vents I've figured out, the wheel wells, the wheel arches. I think I'm just going to put something inside here. I'm not going to do what I would call an undercut edge, because that was like with the GT40s. I did like a, I don't know, 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch kind of, you know, ledge like this, and it was like, now you end up trimming all that stuff out anyway. And I've slowly been figuring out how many pieces I'm going to have a front, I'm going to have a back. I pretty much figured I can do the sides up around over the door, one piece. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm figuring from about here somewhere I could do this whole top section to the front dam. So that'd be 5. And then you've got this rear section that would be 6. And then I'm figuring probably between this vent and this vent, you've got 7, and you've got 8. So, yeah, about an 8-piece split mold is what I'm hoping for. And then we also have stuff on the back of the car. I'm not quite happy. This whole back of the car is just way too flat. You can't see the words, you can't see Lamborghini, and you can't see Countach. That will be, they'll be smoothened out. But it's mainly kind of where the tail light section is. Like this here. There's supposed to be a nice even trim line around here. And then the tail lights, 1, 2, 3. This one has an extra one at the bottom. My thinking, anyway, is to kind of pencil this out and probably take a jigsaw or, you know, some type of saw, cut this pattern right out of here, get rid of it, and then laminate something in behind so I get this panel about 1/8 of an inch recessed. That's kind of my thinking on both, you know, where the tail lights are. And as far as what you do with the tail lights, you know, we can either re-3D print some stuff, you know, or maybe I will make a separate kind of mold that could be incorporated. I just find it too flat. Like, I just find the 3D print way too, you know, it's way too flat. I almost want to just take filler and just and then redo kind of the whole back section, but I want to retain some detail. So my idea is to just, yeah, cut these panels out, laminate something in behind, and then work on the, as far as the tail lights go, work on that after. As far as that, everything else, yeah, I got a vent. I got a weird innie. I call it an innie there. I'll just probably fill that right in nice and smooth. Just makes doing this whole underside transition smoother. But yeah, I'm poking along. I'm poking, that's what I call it. I'm poking. I'm not, you know, I'm not spending every day. This thing's sat for, well, you know, probably since the last couple of videos, you know. All around this Lexan that I hot glued in, every single section of this. It's got, I can show you where my, here's my scraper. But everything goes underneath. See that? That goes right underneath. That's all you cannot fiberglass that. Even these side edges right here, you know, it goes down in there, you know, on an angle like that right there. This all has to be filled so that it's all kind of nice and even and square in order for me to pop a mold off of these. Even these little corner windows, they were kind of weird because well, that one actually popped. I can see that it popped already. So I'm gonna have to probably redo that. I think I'm gonna redo them in aluminum. Yeah, that one already it already came from together. Just because there was so much pressure. I tried to heat it with a heat gun and kind of flex them. They have a weird shape. They have this like weird twisted. They have this weird twisted shape. I'm gonna probably redo. Well, I'll redo that one for sure. Maybe with aluminum. This one's kind of still holding, but yeah, they have this weird. They have this weird twisted kind of shape to them. And but yeah, all of that stuff all around the windshield, all got to be, this back section, all got to be filled with filler. Got the roof pretty smooth. I got the back pretty smooth. The hood, there's a few little anomalies, that's what I'm going to call them, on the hood. Hopefully I can sand them out. Sanding plastic is probably the worst thing you can sand. It's because the more you sand it, the more friction you create, the more the plastic does not want to go away. You can just sand it and sand it and sand it, and you heat up the plastic, and it does not want to sand away. That's you know, all these lines, like down here, you can see if the camera wants to come in close, all these lines, they kind of, I don't know what you call it, they jig jog. It's like this line coming down here, you know, steps in a bit there where there's supposed to be a headlight, and then it comes down and then it steps out where there's supposed to be another light section. I might actually cut these out because these are supposed to be, they're kind of built, these are the flip up lights. I don't know if I don't have a pencil. I don't have my pencil, but these are the flip up lights. These are the stationary, I don't know, they're lights, but they're actually supposed to be cut in like this. So they're supposed to be like this. If you can imagine that inside there. There's like the GT40, had to box it in. You know, it goes back straight, horizontal, and then vertical. And that's the way these ones are supposed to be. I might actually cut those out and actually incorporate that in, and then there's just a flat lens over it. Yeah, so we got a little ways to go with this this Lamborghini project, but there you have it. Late Sunday night from Sharp Customs. You know the routine. Hate repeating myself. Love you guys. Give me some comments. Peace. I'm out.